Hi, this is Priyanka, and if you're a new biker like me and planning to take your first off-roading session, then this video is for you. Since I'm based in Bangalore, I took a couple of off-roading training sessions. One is SheRides program from Big Rock Dirt Park, which is about, I think, around 1.5 kilometers from the city. And I also went for a off-roading training session called Risky Tasky by CRF Women on Wheels. This was held in Kerala. They had a program in Bangalore too, but I was not available during those dates, which is why I took this 2-day program in all the way in Kerala. If you're planning to take one too, I'm going to brief you about what exactly is taught in these basic courses so that you can decide for yourself if this is something you want to attend or something you can practice at home, the pros, the cons. I'm going to give you a gist of the same. For each of these programs, you can either take your own bike or rent a bike. I preferred to rent because the first location was about 1.5 hours from the city. I could have taken my own bike, but I preferred to practice on an X-Pulse, and I own a Speed 400, and X-Pulse is meant for off-roading, so I thought better to rent it out. And for the second program, since it was in Kerala, I wasn't keen on taking my bike from Bangalore, and I did practice on two different type of bikes. I practiced on X-Pulse as well as KTM 390 Enduro. Quite fun bikes for off-roading for sure. The first thing I found in common that both the off-roading classes taught me was to find the balance point of the bike. So you first try to make the bike upright, and then at some point you feel that the bike is weightless, and you try to keep that same position, and holding the bike with 2 fingers, you try to slowly switch the positions around the bike. This helps you mentally program in what is exactly the balance point of the bike, so it's quite an effective drill. Post that, they teach you to push the bike. Now that you know how the bike can be weightless at what point, you stand beside the bike and you push it across and you take it across turns. This is for situations where your bike is stuck in some off-road terrain and then you have to push it across. It's good to know these factors. And the next thing they teach you is to put slight throttle and move with the bike. And these drills are not while you're sitting on the bike, when you're beside it and you're trying to move the bike across. Once you learn these basic drills of pushing the bike and understanding the balance of the bike better, this is something you can practice in your parking lot as well to kind of get more familiarized with the same. The next thing that they teach you is how to saddle on the bike. So this is basically the standing position that you see on these off-road bikes or any bike. You usually can stand as well, standing on the foot pegs which are present on the bike, and with correct body positioning, they teach you how to stand up. Once you learn that drill, they teach you 2 types of cornering drill. One type of cornering drill is by shifting your body weight. If you're moving to the right, you shift slightly to the left. And also the same motion is mimicked when you saddle as well. When you're moving to the right, your body slightly moves to the left. It's counter-steer balancing. And these drills are practiced on repeat. With these basic skills in hand, we've finally taken to different trails. There's the first beginner trail with different type of obstacles. You can say uphill, downhill, steep, dives, all sort of obstacles in the course where you can just practice the skills that you gain by this first training session. And one of the purposes of standing on the bike is to reduce the stress on the suspension of the bike, which means if you're wondering what is the whole point of saddling or standing on the bike, it is because it acts as a second suspension. Suspension on your bike is the one that absorbs the bumps that you take across, it absorbs the shock. So when you stand, your body is acting like a second suspension. Your legs and hips also absorb the shocks, and it protects your back also from these constant bumps across the road. It overall gives you more control over the bike. And also saddling helps with, like in off-roading in general, you have trails which is like loose gravel, you have muddy terrains. So in all such situations, standing helps absorb the shock better of these bumps and any obstacles across. It also gives you better control over the bike, and the bike can move more freely under you. One more useful skill is taking tight turns. So figure eight drills is also very useful. So you take your bike across You do the right turn and then the left turn and you complete a figure eight. So this can be done in any open space. You can practice in your parking lot. You can practice in probably some muddy terrains available. This also helps finesse your off-roading control and counterbalancing, which we talked about, leaning to the left when you take a right turn. These are quite useful skills you can gain in these off-roading sessions. Another useful skill that was taught to me was hard braking, which is you're coming at max speed and then you use 30% rear brake and 70% front brake. So this is in order to stop at emergency situations. You can also learn engine braking and also the 70-30 ratio, 30% rear brake, 70% front brake. It's a good drill to practice. One last drill that I learned was when you're going uphill, how exactly to stop the bike, because our usual stopping of the bike with clutch in and the brake may cause the bike to slide down when you're clutched in. So in such situations, you're supposed to be on lower gears, and in case you need to stop, let go of the clutch, let the bike stall, because you have to be able to keep the bike stable. Rear and front is what you're going to apply, and release the clutch. We have a tendency to clutch in order to ensure that the engine doesn't stop. But in crazy uphill situations, the bike will start sliding backwards if you clutch in. So those drills were something that we practiced. So this is an overview of the skills that you can learn from a basics off-roading course. Can you learn it on your own? Perhaps yes. What are the benefits of attending a course? It's easier to ask questions, doubts, get it answered, get your body positioning fixed if these are being taught by professionals. And also you get to do a lot of fun laps across the tracks. I attend 2 sessions. One is at Big Rock Park in Bangalore and one is in Kerala, organized by CRF Women on Wheels. Both have been very interesting tracks with different obstacles and different trails and pathways. So it's been quite a fun adventure to put my skills to the test in 2 different terrains and 2 different control tracks. And also we had a fun competition at the very end of the session at CRF Women on Wheels. We were supposed to cover the track and the person who does the fastest lap wins. Yours truly came 5th. But yeah, maybe better luck next time to myself. In general, these sessions help you build a strong foundation. And from then you can continue adding on to your skills, maybe take some courses of level 2 training or watch YouTube videos and incorporate them on your own. I hope this video helped you get an understanding of what is taught in these courses. Keep tuning in for more videos from me and don't forget to subscribe. Take care, signing out for now.